Welcome to episode 6 of the Paused Podcast, the weekly podcast where we join together with our friends and discuss the movies and TV shows and music and video games we have hit pause on to discuss them. I didn't do that so well that time. Joining me today on the podcast is none other than Anthony Paino. How are you, Anthony?
Good. Very good.
That's good. You excited to be here?
Yes, I am.
Is this your first podcast?
Yes, it is. Well, technically it's the first one I've been at.
Okay.
But you did prank call me.
Ah, that's true,
and
yes.
It was very embarrassing.
Yes, a couple of episodes ago. I think it was episode 4 now. Yes. We had Jess and Boots herself on the podcast.
And somehow she thought that making a segment on prank calls was legitimate enough for... for the podcast.
As I said, she threw all the windows out the rules. As I so eloquently said on that podcast. Oh man, good times. So tell us a bit about yourself, Anthony. Tell us, myself and the audience, a bit about you and what you do. And
okay, well, I'm in the same year level as Ewan here,
mm-hmm.
and majority of the guests on the podcast, minus Jess and Boots, and I started my own YouTube channel, which has 2 videos, which is sort of okay. No, but
early days.
Yeah, early days of it. So I love games, and I love food, and I love singing, and I try to combine all 3 just in everyday life, really. You know, cool. Food is life. So
games, cooking, and singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good combination.
Yeah. The cooking and the food stuff is kind of just like the base, like that's what everything is about, and then I just have to accommodate for the other 2, you know?
Like, I mean, that's kind of like me as well, although it's kind of just games, eating, and maybe screaming more than
from your Twitch streams.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there was, you watched that time when I played Rogue Legacy, right? Yeah. I was playing Rogue Legacy on the PS4 and there was lots of expletives.
Mm.
Yeah, the rest of the family was at the house, thankfully.
It was hilarious though. It's just like, this is a whole other side of you.
You just die so much. It's just...
No, I loved the farting nights.
The farting nights? Oh, right, yeah.
Where, like, it's like, they have some form of, like, bowel...
Yeah, irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah, that's right. They have irritable bowel syndrome, and sometimes when they jump, there'd be, like, a little cloud that would puff.
Yeah, that's the best. It makes a whole, like, farting sound effect as well. I don't know if that came through.
That attention to detail, that's what you want in a game. Yeah. It's really, really what you want in the game.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Mm.
Oh gosh, what was I going to say? The other thing is, it's just a 2-man podcast today.
Oh yeah.
Because it's exam time for us. End of high school year-ers.
Yes.
And yeah, as a consequence, everyone's got like lectures or revision exams or stuff like that.
So basically you've got the guy who's already set and the guy who just doesn't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to pay for my revision lectures. So
that was so funny.
Yeah.
You were just Miss Friends. You were just there.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to mention another rule.
Yeah.
Mentioning names. I'll have to bleep that one out. That's cool.
It's alright.
Okay, do you want to kick us off? What's your topic?
Alright. Well, I brought this lovely game here, which is Tales of Xillia.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it.
Well, Tales of Xillia 2.
Okay.
So, it's... I don't know if a lot of people know this game, but it's from the Tales series, obviously. And it's very popular in terms of, like, the gameplay and stuff, because it has a really nice action sort of gameplay, action RPG-ish kind of thing. And it's very fast-paced, so it's gotten a lot of fans for the series.
Yeah.
And what I brought this game for was about sequels and how to notice there's a 2 on the end. So, obviously... There was an original Tales of Xillia, and one thing I noticed about this game is the fact that pretty much every environment is from the original game. And they have all of the same main characters come back as well. And so I was kind of thinking about this whole thing where, you know, in gaming and in Hollywood as well, and TV series and everything, there's that kind of thing where, you know, the sequels tend to not do as well as the original games or movies. No, I don't see it as much in the gaming... industry. There is a lot of games where the sequels are even better than the original game, but definitely in Hollywood and like TV, there's a lot of like people not liking as the sequels as much as the original movies.
Yeah. It can be a real hit or miss, can't it?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like some sequels. And a sequel that's been great was Assassin's Creed 2 compared to the first Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 2 is just awesome.
Yeah.
Then I guess there's like sequels that let you down as well, like
Arkham City.
Oh really?
Batman Arkham City.
I'm not. I've not played those, but it's one of those are kind of games that I've got just sitting on my Steam library. I got like free sometime, whatever, and I'm just not going to play them.
It's worth it.
Okay.
I got them both, like both Asylum and City at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was more excited for Arkham City because Catwoman is my favourite Batman character, and so I was sitting there going like, I can't wait to play as Catwoman, but then I was like, no, I have to sit through Arkham Asylum, I can do this, and they're both absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
And it's basically, it's like the same game, but different storyline, different game mechanics, and the second one is like 3 times bigger than the first one. And so the second one has more an emphasis on like a bit more of an open world.
It sounds awesome. And I was like watching at E3 this year. I was watching the videos for Arkham Knight. I believe it's called, the new Batman one. And man, that game just looks so cool. Like open world Batman and a Batmobile. Like what could you want?
Although I hope they explain why the Batmobile is different than the Batmobile in. Definitely, I don't know if it was in Arkham City, but the Batmobile had an appearance in Arkham Asylum.
Oh, did it?
And it was very much the more classic, like really long car that looks totally impractical. And
it's pretty long in Arkham Knight too.
It's pretty long, but it's more like the tumble one from the...
Yeah, it's got more of that kind of edginess to it.
From like the Christopher Nolan series. Yeah, that's the name, right?
Yeah, Christopher Nolan, that's his name. Yeah. So, the curse of the sequels, as they say. Did it affect Tales of Zillia, or is that why you sort of brought it up?
I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of not as entrenched in the game yet, thanks to exams and stuff.
What's this case?
Well, I pre-ordered it, so it has like a day one edition, so it's a steelbook.
And it comes with a soundtrack, right?
Yeah, and this like fancy stuff.
Yeah, I like when they do this. I like that day one edition.
Yeah. And
what happens if they sold any of these on the second day?
Well, from the first Tales of Zillia, I got the day one edition with that as well. And I never saw a regular edition.
Oh, really?
It was just always
the
day one
editions everywhere.
So it's like, okay.
I'm forgetting we need to leave it open.
So with this, I'm not sure, like, when I was watching the IGN review for it.
Oh, yeah.
I really agreed with what, I forgot who reviewed it. I think it was Jose Otero.
Oh, yeah. Sounds right.
I think it was him. I liked what he said about how, sure, it kind of uses all the same areas, and I think a lot of the same music, all the characters from the original game are in the sequel. Yeah. And there's just an introduction of a couple new main characters. Mm-hmm. And I agreed with what he said when he said that it was more of you're returning to that same world. Yeah. And so you have that really big nostalgia factor about it. And so I don't mind it. I don't mind the fact that they've reused so much, because it's like, I want to go back to that world. I want to revisit that. Sure, yeah. And it's kind of like, it's even better than a DLC, because not only are you revisiting it, but you're revisiting it with a whole new storyline that is completely convoluted and complicated, because that's what Tales does. The Tales series also have an absolutely, like, unbelievable storyline. Like, for Tales of Zillia, about halfway through the game, or like about 3/4 or a third through, it's just kind of like, you think that it's the end of the game, and then suddenly it just opens up to something like even bigger than you even imagined, and then all of a sudden you just sit there going like, what just happened? Yeah. And then you just have like there's a whole bunch of other things that you have to do, because it just opened up so much just for like one plot point. And I was like, oh my god. Yeah.
It's interesting sequels, isn't it? Because generally after sort of an initial, like an IP is sort of launched, I guess, sequels, like if it sort of really hits home, like it's a huge success, I might use The Last of Us as an example. Yeah. You become like, so invested in those characters and so invested in their story and whatever, that if you come out and by the end of it, you just, man, that was a roller coaster, that was amazing, those characters, that story, that was awesome. I want a sequel, I want to revisit this world. Another sort of example that springs to mind is Avatar.
Oh my god.
So we've had a first Avatar film, and I think undeniably the best thing about that film was just the world they created. Like, Pandora was just such a world that you would love to visit and love to explore.
The story wasn't...
Yeah, this was like a typical story, like, you know, it's been done before. And the same with the characters, more or less. Yeah. Would I want those characters in the sequel? I don't know. I know I want Pandora there, but I don't know if I want those characters.
I feel like that's the other thing with sequels, where it's like if the original movie was very successful, but it didn't have a lot of those, say like for Avatar, like there wasn't an amazingly like unique storyline to it.
Yeah.
So if they made a sequel and then all of a sudden got really deep and like really quite a unique storyline, like a lot of people were like, oh yeah, that's really cool.
Uh-huh.
But then some people were like, what is this? what is this?
True.
I wanted something that's predictable.
Yeah, I mean, people always like that, and they have this
Yeah.
sort of... I mean, another example I'm thinking of is Star Wars Episode 7. Like, that's going to be super interesting when that comes out.
Yeah.
'Cause I think no matter what they do, everyone's going to hate it.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
I mean, if it's a typical Star Wars movie, everyone will be like, you know, these people are stuck 30 years in the past. What the hell is going on? But then, if they actually try and do something deeper, they might attract some sort of praise from, you know, sort of film critics, maybe.
Yeah.
But Star Wars fans might feel totally alienated.
Exactly.
So it's real tricky. It's a real balancing act.
Yeah.
I think what's hard is when you sort of create a world and create these characters, you tell the story you want to tell. Like you've got a clean slate. But when you're creating a sequel, you've already got those established characters in that established world, and then you're trying to fit a story to that.
Yeah.
And I feel no matter what, like, assuming you told your best story in the first one, you're stuck with second best.
Yeah. That's why, like, Last of Us should never make a sequel.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to leave, like, The Last of Us to another podcast because I could go on for, like, ages about that. Yeah. But yeah, like, you tell, and they actually say this about The Last of Us as well, like, we'll revisit that world if there's a story we want to tell.
Yeah.
And I think that should be the principal idea of every story and every sort of sequel. Although I think that works. I think that's a good rule for like movies and TV shows and maybe very story-driven games. Like, don't make a sequel unless it's a story you've got to tell.
Yeah.
But
sadly, Hollywood doesn't go by that.
No, there's money to be made. We're gonna make a sequel.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I feel like with video games, there's a little leeway because what can so often happen with sequels is that technology improves, and therefore mechanics can improve. Like, we didn't quite have this right, but hey, like the sequel, like we now know how to fix that. We can fix that, and like the rest is history. Like Assassin's Creed, we mentioned, is an excellent example of that. You could tell from that first game that they had a cool concept.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, well, we can keep this whole Assassin's Creed Templar thing, but let's shift it like a couple hundred years into the future, and set it in Renaissance Italy, and we can improve these running mechanics. Let's have a new character. He's like an offspring or whatever.
Yeah.
So they sort of were able to recreate everything and make that new game around that. And as a result, it's a success. Like, Assassin's Creed 2, amazing game.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs, I reckon the sequel is going to be much better than the first one. Because obviously they've got like an interesting concept and something that intrigues people, and as a result, a lot of people bought into it. But then they were sort of let down by the game, like the story and the character didn't really work out for them. But hey, now they've created like this world of interconnectivity, and it's like, hey, let's just follow another hacker and his story and tell something maybe a little bit more emotionally driven.
I think I haven't played the game, and I've only seen like little bits of gameplay of it. But from what I've seen of it, I feel like the selling point shouldn't have been gameplay as much as they made it. Because when I looked at it, it's kind of like, it's just kind of like GTA, but with a whole bunch of technology.
Yeah.
That is kind of useless because you have it from the beginning anyway.
Yeah, and it doesn't do nearly as much as you can't do nearly as much in it as GTA can now. Yeah. There were really good parts of Watch Dogs, like there were sort of missions you had to like raid a bad guy's like hideout or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was fun. Like there were some good stealth elements, and the hacking sort of became useful in that. So I would like to see them explore that a little bit more.
Yeah, imagine if they made like a stealth game that was kind of, it was just like Watch Dogs. Yeah. But it was very much based around the stealth component of it.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Right,
that'd be like an awesome selling point. So you're going like, it's kind of like Batman, but with so much more modern technology. Yeah. Like so much more technology that people actually have.
I can just imagine that like on the box.
Yeah.
We know Batman already has a lot of technology, but this game is just like Batman with more technology. Yeah. But I feel like, yeah, that could be something that works for him, and that's the opportunity with sequels. And if you do well, like you earn, I mean, it all comes down to money, sadly.
Yeah.
Like if there's money to be made in making a sequel, that typically people can do it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think you should ever force something. It's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you quickly create like an established fan base, and that's typically what they demand. But from certain developers, there are times where it's like, like Guerrilla Games that make the Killzone. I'm trying to find it, for example. Guerrilla Games that make the Killzone franchise.
Yeah.
As much as I really like the Killzone games, I've never really finished one. I've never like stuck it out to the end. I've sunk a bit of time into multiplayer, but never really like gone that deep into it. But I appreciate them. They're good games. I can tell from the games that Guerrilla Games are obviously a very talented developer, or a developed team. But I don't want them to make another Killzone game. I want them to like spread their wings a little bit and make something new.
Yeah.
And it looks like they are. We saw some screenshots the other day of like robotic dinosaurs and stuff. It looks like they're gonna make an open world RPG. They brought the guy from Fallout New Vegas over.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's exciting. Another example is Sucker Punch. They made like this Sly Raccoon in the Infamous games. As much as I love Infamous, I'd really like them sort of just spread the rings a little bit more and try something a little different.
I think Infamous, I don't know what was Infamous that like there is a definitely fan base there.
Yeah,
I really like Infamous games, but like did it kind of get that widespread recognition that
did it sell well or
did
it,
I'm not too sure about like Infamous. I've been
sure. I don't know. I don't know the numbers. I think it sold pretty well, especially the first and second games.
Okay.
I remember like a game called Prototype came out around the same the first time as the first game, and it just got like smacked.
Yeah, Prototype got like I do remember that like I think the only reason why I remember that because they made a sequel to it.
Yeah, they did. It's like Prototype 1 and
like,
Prototype 2, and I think both of them just like
it's just like
this is super like dark superhero or something. This is like Infamous. It's grand. Second Son was really good. I think that would have sold pretty well because like it's come out in a time where like, there's not arguably not a lot on PS4. And it's just a super fun game to play, and it's got tons of replayability. Like I've played through the good and bad storylines. I freaking miss.
I think that's a really good selling point though for it.
Bad
thing.
Yeah, and it's kind of different. Like and the powers are the most fun. Like
and like in the original Infamous. Where is it?
You can do this. I've got them all. Oh, my brother's actually might got them.
Well, isn't it like I don't know if it for Second Son, but I know in the original ones they had like if you're good, you're like blue powers.
Yeah.
And if you're bad, you're like red powers.
Yeah, that's the same with all of them. So there's different powers, like no matter which way.
And I'm very much like color coordination is like my thing. Like I like sit there and just like the visuals have to be on par, guys. Like come on.
Sure,
so like that kind of color coordination is like that's really awesome because it makes it more. I guess it can appeal more to people like me who love RPGs but are open to other games, and then that kind of, for some sort of reason, I make a connection of that kind of color coordination with like classes and everything that appear in RPGs. And it's like
I suppose there is an RPG sort of element to it. Yeah.
So it's like appealing to other audiences.
Color coordination is in game.
Color coordination, game developers out there.
Get on it. No, Infamous is a game that's really benefited from sequels. Uncharted, those games have just gotten better as they go along.
I've only ever played the first one, and oh my gosh.
I think that's weird. I've not finished the first one, but I've played 2 and 3.
I feel like I feel like just to make my view of Uncharted a little bit better.
What, you didn't like it?
I hated it.
Seriously?
I loathed it.
My brother said the first game was really good.
It was, but I found it so annoying where it's like, hey, this is this cool series where you're like, it's sort of like Tomb Raider but with a dude, and then like you do this kind of platforming stuff.
That's Indiana Jones!
Yeah, no,
Indiana Jones is like...
Yeah.
Well, Tomb Raider is like Indiana Jones with a chick.
Yeah, okay. Whatever, you know what I mean. But like I did like platforming for like 1 minute, and then I walk into a room, and then there's just like 20 people shooting me, and then I just die. And then just sit there going...
Maybe you're just bad.
Yeah, maybe I'm just bad. I'll admit that. But like, still, it just really annoyed me because they're going like, that shouldn't be the main... Like, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that. But Indiana Jonesy platformy, and then you kind of just do it for 2 minutes, and then you have to shoot a whole bunch of people. Then you do it for another 2 minutes, and you shoot a whole bunch of people. And then the platforming itself wasn't that inventive from what I saw.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, oh gee, this is door that you have to open. It looks like you open it with fire. I wonder what you light. Or maybe that massive, like, cylinder thing that's right in front of it that obviously has cylinders.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, gee, I wonder. Actually, no, it's that vine over there.
So when did you play this game though? Because like I reckon like 2 and 3 strike a pretty good balance between like the puzzles and the and maybe the first one was like just testing grounds a little bit. But bear in mind that was like a launch game for the PS3. Just like 2007.
I played it like probably like last year, the year before.
Yeah, okay. So like in a modern setting, like you can understand, but that trilogy.
It just annoyed me a lot, but there were some bits that, like, now that I think about it, there were some bits where I did really like it. I think there was, I don't know if this was the first one, because I borrowed like all 3, and then I only got through some of the first one, and I was like, screw it, just take it back. So I know, but I'll get there eventually. I'll get there.
Uncharted 2 and 3 are like some of my favorite games of all time. They're really good.
I think in the first one there's this plane crash area.
In the first one?
Or is it in the second one?
I've not really played the first one. Hold on.
There was something Uncharted that I played, and there was this plane crash area, and it was like kind of on this waterfall kind of area. And I really did like the visuals of it. It's just like this plane that had crashed into like this kind of... There's like water coming down from like this hill, and then it just kept going, and then
like
there was
waterfall?
Like a waterfall. But it wasn't a massive one. It was just like a smallish one. And then there was a cliff, and then it just like went off right.
Right, yeah.
But it was very cool. Like I guess in terms of looking at like the concept of it, the concept is very cool.
Yeah.
But maybe I should just give it more of a chance.
Yeah, they're great games. Yeah. Tomb Raider was really good too.
I really want to play. Eventually I'm gonna get a PS4. Eventually I'll have.
You got the definitive edition?
Probably.
Yeah.
And I'll probably get Last of Us Remastered. Because I need to play that game.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm not into that genre of gaming too much.
Yeah.
I need to play it. Yeah. Instead of like the Order 1886.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I want that game to be so good so bad.
Yeah.
It just looks
I got really worried when I was looking at that gameplay video. Like I remember talking to you about it.
To me it looks awesome, but I keep hearing all these like really mixed.
I'm not sure. Like the gameplay looked a bit interesting.
Yeah.
But the thing that I'm not sure about is the fact that this zombie turned into this kind of like Harry Potter werewolf thing. And
who cares, man?
I was like, that's really awesome. That's awesome. But
I don't know how it works magically or scientifically, but
yeah, no. But like, I sit there and I always look at these things and I always say, I hope they have some form of like plot device that sort of explains that. You know, because there are too many games, too many movies, too many TV shows out there that kind of sit there and say, oh, this is your enemy, and that's it. Like, they're just like,
my guess
go with it. And it's
it'll be like some weird infection that makes you go like this, like a zombie, until eventually you develop until you grow hair, and you turn into like more of a werewolf kind of thing.
Although it did, from the trailer, it seemed like the zombie did it on will.
Like, oh really?
It sounds
even cooler to me.
Yeah, it kind of does. It is very cool though. Now that I think about it, like it's.
I'm just a slow lumbering zombie.
Yeah, he's just like eating
werewolf.
Yeah, but that's like when I was staring, like when I was looking at the trailer, I was like, that's actually really creepy. That's really good because it is just like eating something.
Yeah,
like the zombie's just eating a person, and then the guy is there. He like looks at him, just staring at him, and then the zombie notices that he's there. Yeah. And then he just turns around and he kind of like, I think he like made a little bit of like a zombie chuckle. Like he had a brain. He had like some form of conscience. Because he's like sitting there. He's just like, haha, now I've got you. And then he like turns into this like werewolf thing. It's like, oh my god.
I think I've figured it out. If you know how werewolves like usually work, right? There's like a man, and the full moon comes out. Yeah. And he starts howling and grows hair into a werewolf. What happens if you've got someone that's already got that natural ability, and then they become infected as a zombie? That's how it works.
That actually kind of works because of like the 1886 kind of era. Like, well, no, because that would have, I'm guessing, that kind of time period is when
they had werewolves?
Well, not when they had werewolves, but when they were like sitting there going werewolves and shit.
Oh yeah, they were. They just got fear about it.
Yeah, the fear about it probably would have I can see them tying that into like the historical context of that.
Yeah, well, it's like an alternative universe, right? Like it's steampunk sort of.
I love steampunk.
Idea.
Steampunk is
I'm
very
so
cool.
new to this whole steampunk thing. But
I don't
cool.
have a lot of
like
experience with steampunk, but I just know what the basis of
I'm
the
not
concept of
a
is.
steampunk fashionista, but
I wouldn't be a steampunk fashionista, but like I would sit there. I'd be like, I like the concept of it. If they bring steampunk into like movies or games or TV shows, it's like yes, I would watch that. That was like the first thing that got me interested in the Order 1886 because I love that time period. I love it so much, and then it's
the
just
Victorian era.
Yeah, the Victorian era, and then it's just like you add like these guns in there, but they're not just like, oh, we're just gonna add guns in there. They actually made the guns look very.
Isn't it like it's they all claim like it's adapted Tesla technology or something like that? I don't know.
Whatever. Anyway, so
sequels. They can be good.
They can be
bad.
Good. This one, it's good for the nostalgia factor. I like going back to that world.
Yeah.
But I'm sure some other people sit there going like, no, you have to like make a different thing. And there is a completely different storyline though. Don't if you're thinking of this game, there is like a completely different storyline.
Yeah.
And it will be like, oh my god. And like the main character that you play is whereas in the first one you could choose between the two main characters, Jude and Mila.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't vary the gameplay completely. Like you could still arrive to the same ending, but there were certain sections where they split up, and then depending on who you're playing will depend on whose storyline you go with.
Okay.
So that was cool, but for this one it's just the same. The one main character, this cool guy with like the grey hair and black.
So it's half
part of it.
Black.
Oh well, that's like a certain like stopwatch that he has, and then it like turns into this like really cool.
Oh, okay.
But most of the time he's just like looks like a normal human.
JRPGs.
Yeah, no, right. And also the art style is very anime kind of style.
Okay.
And I love that kind of stylized RPG stuff.
Yeah, I love the art style of these JRPGs.
So so it's like a different storyline, and he's mostly silent. I say a mostly silent protagonist because there are still like in battle sequences and stuff he will still like speak, but not in cutscenes. In cutscenes,
that seems like, really weird to me.
Yeah, it is weird. Like when you're actually like in battles, he actually like because all the characters kind of say the names of their abilities. When they're doing them, he will say
attack.
The name. Well, not attack, but like if you have special abilities, like
thunder strike.
Sort of. Yeah. They're just they're not called that. But yes, you can say that. So he will say those things, and I really like the voice actor that they put for his battle sequences, but they made him a silent protagonist. So like in all the cutscenes, when he can say something, you have a choice. So you have like two different decisions to go with.
Sure.
And so you can like pick either one, and it kind of molds the character, and it makes the other characters like the interactions with him different. And you can like boost affinity levels with certain characters. So then like when you link with them in battle, you can like really make it really awesome. Oh,
cool. That sounds a bit like Persona when you kind of strike up those bonds.
But
that game creeps me out. I remember like I get like a part-time job at this daycare center, and I'm like chatting with like one of the kids' mums after my shift or whatever. Yeah. And then like suddenly like it freezes and the thing like new bond. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to create a bond with this guy's mum. Like this is
I've watched the anime of the full anime of Persona 4.
Oh yeah.
Persona 4 Persona 4. And it is like you have to have a real open mind for Persona 4. Yeah. You can't like sit there like, oh, this is really awesome, and then there's something to like what did I just do?
Yeah. There's like sometimes where I'm hitting on people half my age and then hitting on people. Poor Teddy. Yeah, I feel sorry for the guy.
Nah, in the anime, I don't know if it's the same in the game, but in the anime, he's such a creeper. It's hilarious.
Yeah, you're such a creeper in the game.
Such a creeper. It's so funny. But anyway, so that's
cool.
I don't know. I've forgotten what we were talking about.
My topic.
Your topic.
My topic time.
Yes.
My topic's completely different today.
Okay.
I'm not talking about movies or games, kind of, TV shows and music. I'm actually going to talk about a piece of hardware. Because this year... Hold on. Where is it? I should have been more prepared. I think it's in here. Sorry, this year is the It's a Batmobile.
Yes.
This year is the 125th anniversary of Nintendo, something like that. And so I
that's
thought
the exact same.
we would discuss
one
of my favourite little things.
This is
the Game
exact
Boy.
same one that I have.
There you go.
Twin moment. I'm kidding.
So this year
That's awesome.
is the Game Boy Advance. I remember buying this thing. I think we were going to the UK at the time, where I'm originally from. We're going back on a holiday or something, and we got this in Singapore, I think.
Cool.
It's the battery pack.
Good job.
But man, the Game Boy was just awesome.
It was.
My brother and I used to I mean, I don't think we had one of the original sort of Game Boys.
I didn't have it either.
I know my friends
We
did.
only started at Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, but the Advance was just so cool, and I suppose it sort of got that sort of shape that we now sort of associate with the Nintendo DS or a lot of controls.
And I mean, for our hands now, it's pretty small, but back in the day, when I first got it, I was like a little kid. It's like perfect.
Yeah.
If anything, it seemed huge, but now I look at him like, that's such a small screen.
It feels a little funny in your hand, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, still works. I used this in my film the other day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mine
Mine still works, I think, as well, but I needed put batteries in it.
Yeah.
No, I love how, because like the screen hasn't got...
It doesn't have the backlight, right?
Yeah. So you have like, for this like little plot, I have, there's one point where we bought this full on like decked out Harry Potter accessory kit. And one of the things that I had was like this light that you plug into here, and then it like goes over, but you have like an epic version. So, oh my god.
This is how you kids watching this. We didn't have backlights on our screen, so now this is an LCD, but we didn't have backlights on it. So you had this contraption. I don't know if you can see that. This is great for the audio podcast. Basically, it's like this arm thing that clips on top of the Game Boy Advance, and it like stretches out a magnifying glass over the screen, because obviously you have to operate from some distance from the screen now.
Yeah.
And built into the underside of it, there's a light. So if I flick this switch, the light still works with batteries in it. Yeah, there's little lights that underneath the magnifying glass that hangs above the screen that illuminated the display, so you could play in the dark.
Just not even in the dark. Sometimes I needed it during the day.
It looks like some prototype Oculus Rift, but
it kind of does. It's like a really miniature Oculus Rift.
I look at that thing. The
color's amazing. I've never. Well, actually, because I was really young when I got it, I wasn't as adept, you could say, in the gaming.
Oh yeah, me too.
Hobby. So
I just buy all the bloatware.
Yeah, so
shovelware. Sorry.
Well,
I mean, look at this.
Oh my!
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Game Boy Advance.
I had the Philosopher's Stone on Game Boy Advance, and then the Chamber of Secrets on PlayStation 1.
Yeah, I played this a lot.
It was actually really good. When I like went back to the Philosopher's Stone, when like after I had read the book, and I was sitting there going, my gosh, this isn't just like based on the movie. It was actually, it had certain plot elements or certain things like in the plot of the book that wasn't in the movie, and they put that in the game.
Yeah,
and I was sitting there going like, that's actually really awesome.
Yeah,
and it was like too bad Harry Potter, because it was around the time when like the Half-Blood Prince game was already coming out, or had already come out, and I played that on my DS, and I was like, if only Harry Potter games now were that good.
Yeah, I remember.
They kind of died down. Harry Potter games, like, there was like a period where, because I've got like Julia, she really liked the original like Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets as well. She played those. But then as they progressed into time, it just turned very bland. The Harry Potter games that were there. So it's a shame. But oh well.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I think I remember having one of my first games to the PS4. Sorry, PS2. A couple of generations back. Was I think it might have been Chamber of Secrets as well. Or maybe it was Azkaban.
Well, if
I had some sort of Harry Potter game.
They would have had it.
Yeah, I just sort of remembered the game starting at the Weasley household, and that sounds like.
Oh, that sounds.
Which film is it that they Chamber of Secrets? Is that where they fly in the car?
Yeah.
So maybe it would have been Chamber of Secrets then. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no, because now I remember the snake bit fighting the basilisk. Yeah, but that's like one of my one of my first sort of PS2 games. I remember like sitting on the edge of my mum's bed on a screen that was like yay big, and playing playing Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets. Excellent fun. But yeah, with the Game Boy, Nintendo has not played like a huge part in my life. I've always been more of a PlayStation guy. Yeah. So I never had. I think a Wii might have been the only Nintendo console I've ever owned.
Same here.
Yeah.
I've only ever had like portable Nintendo consoles.
Yeah, exactly the same with me. So I had a PS1. That was what I played a lot as a little man. But I always a little man. I've always been a little man. But yeah, I always had Nintendo handhelds. So I had the Game Boy Advance, and then when the original Nintendo DS came out, one of those metal ugly looking ones, so I had one of those.
So ugly.
Man, that thing was a brick. And then
I
eventually
started with the light.
Yeah, and then eventually I got a
light.
DS, which I think is in here somewhere.
I still am impressed with the design of the DS Lite.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I love my 3DS XL.
It's a solid little handheld.
I think this really changed.
Everyone had one of these.
Exactly.
Like,
it really just...
Yeah. I was really late into the bandwagon. I traded in my old DS for this one. Which I don't like trading stuff in. Go for it, yeah.
I haven't had one in years, because I always like traded in for the newer one.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I had a black one as well. So I trade this one in for the original 3DS. And so like I didn't exactly like keep going with like every single iteration.
Yeah.
I just kind of like skipped a few.
Yeah.
And then went to the next one.
Yeah.
But it was only because Kingdom Hearts came out in the 3DS, and that's my favorite game ever. But,
yeah.
So
I've never really played like the go-to games. I've got kind of a weird collection of Nintendo DS games.
I have a terrible collection. Like, people look at it and it's like, why do you even have this piece of hardware? You're not even like getting the good games out of it. It's like, sorry, I'm just not as awesome at gaming as you are. Obviously.
Like I suppose I've got like Metroid Prime Hunters, which was pretty good fun.
Nice.
I've got the Zelda Phantom Hourglass.
I feel I always wanted
Animal
to get
Crossing.
about it.
I remember the Final Fantasy games, like Chronicles, the Ring of Fates. That was really good. That's a tactics game, I think.
Cool.
The World Ends With You is an awesome little JRPG as well. That was a great game.
I know that game.
I could not get past the final boss. It's just ridiculous. But yeah,
you have Professor Layton as well.
Yeah.
I have a Curious
I really
Village.
want to go back and play The World Ends With You, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never played it. I feel like I should play it though, because it was actually in the 3DS Kingdom Hearts game. Like, because it's Square Enix.
Sure. Yeah.
And their main basis was like Disney mixed with Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
So they had like Final Fantasy characters in it,
Mm-hmm.
but then they broadened the amount from like different franchises. So for the latest one in 3DS, they got characters from The World Ends With You.
Oh, cool.
So that was cool.
These old Nintendo games, they're not compatible with 3DS, are they?
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
The DS games are. Yeah.
Ah, cool.
I actually brought my 3DS.
What the heck is this game sitting in there?
What?
Golden Sun, Dark Dawn. What the heck is that?
I have no idea.
Strange.
But I actually did bring my 3DS.
Oh, there you go.
Gorgeous.
Okay, cool. I'm, yes. So part of the reason I brought this up is because my 3DS XL is in the mail.
Oh.
It's on its way.
Does it have Smash Bros on it? Because because I know
it comes pretty soon.
IGN did an unboxing of the American version, and it didn't have it. And so I was sitting there going like, oh my god, is Ewan going to get it or not? Like, oh my god.
I hope so. I'm
so
I don't know. It didn't explicitly say on the website, but whenever I looked at the box art, it says there's like a sticker on it that says.
And it probably depends on the region. Usually Nintendo's nice to Australia.
Yeah.
So,
well, we're getting the new 3DS before the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's true.
It's such a good size.
It's such an awesome size. I love it so much.
It's bigger than I thought it was.
You can we can put like think about ends with you.
Is that in there? Cool. Let's put that in.
So you can actually fit it in.
I just love, like, my brother was always a PSP guy, and I was always like Nintendo DS guy.
I had a PSP.
Although that's kind of changed recently because like now we've all got Vitas. Man, I love my Vita. Like
I don't know
such
what's
great.
gonna happen there. I might get it. I'm not sure. I want to.
If you've got a PS4, it's just like a partnership made to heaven. Like it's so good. Like with PS Plus, you get just like I very rarely buy PS Vita games.
Yeah.
I just like get all the PS Plus ones, and they're really good games. Look at that! It's like spin all around.
It's very cool, the menu screen. So it's I just want to show.
My mum's got like an original. Like my mum's also been like a big Nintendo portable.
Yeah.
So she's got an original 3DS, and I like got a Pokemon, and she loves all the Zelda games.
I'm pretty sure.
She plays her way all through all those Zelda games.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, can you see it?
Does it condense the screen size down a little? Or?
Well, it actually makes it bigger for the XL.
Okay, but it doesn't have the same aspect ratio.
Yeah, it hasn't got the same aspect ratio because they were the same. The screens were the same size on the DS.
Yeah.
But what you can do, but I don't know how. I can't remember how, but it's probably in the settings. Is you can make it even smaller.
Okay.
Depending on whether or not you want it to be like, because for some games, because the resolution is so big, it will just make it worse.
Yeah.
So you have an option to make it smaller than this is.
Cool.
So then it's like easier to play. But yeah, I just thought you'd like to see that.
Yeah.
So yes, portable gaming for me, it's been basically Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance, DS Lite, 3DS, 3DS XL, and I have a PSP. But the thing is, oh my god.
So good. I just love the sound effects. Like,
Special.
Yeah. Pokemon Yellow, everyone, get on board.
I'm gonna say something, and you're probably gonna hate me for it, but this lovely Pokemon here, Pokemon X, this is my first Pokemon game.
Do you know, I've not played a Pokemon game since Pokemon Yellow.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
it's not that embarrassing, don't worry.
Okay. After the people that I have told, they kind of sit there and just like, how could that be the only... Like, how could that be your first Pokemon game? So, I was
always more of a Digimon guy.
Just like casually start a war within like the year. No, but for me, I grew up with a lot more TV shows than gaming.
I'll put this down.
So
yeah.
So like say with Pokemon, I didn't grow up with the Pokemon games more than I grew up with the Pokemon animated series.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I know Pokemon.
Yeah, that was me too.
And I love Pokemon, but more because I watched the series. And now Pokemon X is my first Pokemon game and I absolutely love it. But like, I still... Sometimes... That's the thing with a lot of DS games that I've always had. Like, there's always this kind of issue with me trying to like go back to it. Yeah. And have this need to like completely clock it. Yeah. Whereas there's so many other console games where it's like, I will do it because I really want to. Yeah. And there's just like this need to do it. Whereas, I don't know, maybe because it's a portable device, so it's like easier to move around. So like I guess. Yeah, that's the beauty with portable devices, isn't it? Yeah. But because it makes it more casual then. Yeah. Because it's portable, then you kind of don't get as, like it doesn't hit me as hard, that sense of like play. The only game on the 3DS that I've really had that serious like need to play it was for Kingdom Hearts. Mm-hmm. But that's more, I think that's more because that's my favourite franchise, not because of how good the game is. Sure. But the one that was really good, Fire Emblem Awakening. That's my first Fire Emblem game. From good things. I was like, you have to get it once you get, like seriously, it is so good. Yeah. Okay. So awesome. It's just like, I just had to play it every single time. And I wasn't, like, a lot of the time I wasn't even playing the main story. Mm. Because you get a lot of, like, side missions, or, like, well, not, actually, for a lot of the side missions, they're more missions where you get all the different characters' children. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's, like, stuff that happens there, but... Okay. So behind the scenes that happens there? No, actually, not really. Because there's, like, a whole thing with time, and how one of the characters come from the future to save the world because there's like this dragon, whatever, Grima, who's like the big bad of like all the Fire Emblem series, is gonna like destroy everything. And then they're just like, I'm gonna like stop all, like basically just creating a shit ton of paradoxes. Okay. But they don't actually, it's like, it's what they should have created paradoxes, but they didn't. Okay. Because time in Fire Emblem Awakening is like, if you just go back in time and make it different, then everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. Yeah, well, you're not anything from Doctor Who. That's not how life works. Exactly. Nice. I mean, for me, like the the biggest game that I've played that's based on
just
time.
sitting in the space.
Just everywhere.
Gross.
Everywhere. So your laptop.
Yeah. That's because stupid Beans, my
Yeah.
cat, was just like sitting on the table, just rubbing his head against my laptop and marking it. Get off,
That's just
Beans.
what they do, you know. It becomes part of your life.
I'm just glad he didn't take a piss on it afterwards.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's long story short, I'm super excited for my 3DS.
You should.
I hope to God the Super Smash Bros. Comes pre-installed on it. If not, I'll buy it straight away. Like it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I'm just like I got, as I said, like my mom's got a 3DS, so I bought her, I think Pokemon, I can't remember if I got X or Y, but I got one of those Pokemon ones for Christmas, and the Zelda, I think it's A Link Between Worlds, or maybe Ocarina of Time, one of those ones.
Which, was it older or newer?
I can't remember. I just can't remember which one, because I know I was like, I wanted to get both.
Gold or yellow and black?
I honestly can't remember. I know what both cases look like, and I know what both games are, but I just can't remember which one I bought.
Gosh, Ewan.
It was a couple of years ago.
It was a couple of years
ago. It was like a year ago. It's like last Christmas, I think.
Last Christmas?
Don't know.
Then Link Between Worlds would have been out. Oh, whatever. It was a Zelda game.
I don't know. I bought a Zelda. I think it probably was Ocarina of Time, because I bought stuff like with the intention that I want to play them as well.
Okay.
And I really want to play Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm super excited about that. Like I'm gonna chunk a bunch of time into it.
And
It's been a long time since I've had a Nintendo handheld. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I ordered a 3DS, much like Anthony has here, except it's a red one and it's got Super Smash Bros. Decal on the top. It's like the special limited edition Super Smash Bros. One.
Yeah, it's like the same characters that they have on the box art for the game.
Yeah.
Because they have like different characters on.
Yeah, and it's like it's just like a simple black stencil. Like it's not much.
And there's like it's like a
nice
silvery kind of grey stuff.
I think it's
that
black paint.
Or is that
I think it's
different?
big special. I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm super stoked because it's been so long since I've really like played Nintendo handheld, and I've missed out on a bunch of great games. So it's gonna be really fun going back. And then all of a sudden, they announced the new 3DS.
Yeah,
and,
I know, right?
History-making decision is firstly coming to Australia. Like, what's the deal, man? I just ordered my 3DS.
Yeah.
That Japan-Australia economic partnership agreement's really come in handy.
I don't know what's gonna happen there because they've made it where it's actually got improved specs.
Yeah, I know.
So they've got like the first game to.
Well, the
show
3DS
off
is just gonna die out. Like now, it's just gonna be the new 3DS.
And I'm really annoyed because like I only got this last year.
Yeah.
And I was like,
dude,
it's so excited.
I'm getting mine like a month before the new one comes out.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So
freaking frustrating.
That's actually no. You know what? In terms of like marketing, and just like decision making in
I fell for it.
Why? And like the whole like decision making in when to release it.
Yeah.
Screw you, Nintendo.
Well, like, it was like because I knew that the new 3DS was coming out, and it was like part of the decision making process. I'm like, fuck it, it's gonna take forever for this new 3DS to come to Australia.
Usually they like but even not Australia, just like in terms of when they release it compared to when they show the first trailers. Yeah. Usually there's a bit of like breathing room.
Yeah.
But they're kind of just
like
trailer there.
Yeah.
Have it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Can you not?
We had like a year's build. I guess handhelds are different, but we had like a year's build up to the PS4 being released and Xbox. Yeah, or like 9 months.
People can prepare their wallets.
Yeah, I know.
You got to let the people prepare their wallets, especially people that fall under not so much your demographic, but my demographic of Povo teenagers.
Povo teenagers.
Povo teenagers.
I have a job, man. You have a job.
I have a job. But I don't know
why.
When you have a phone bill that is quite expensive. Freaking tough.
That's another thing. It's like Apple, the iPhone 6. Here it is.
It's really big.
It's out in a week.
I found that it's so annoying. This whole like announcing things and then just like dumping them on people like 2 days later. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Stop doing this.
I suppose the diehard fans like know it's coming, know the Apple event's coming.
Yeah, I mean like I swear Apple purposely like leaks their iPhones and everything because there's always every single time without fail.
Yeah.
Every year there is like a slight build up of rumors.
Yeah.
For what the new iPhone will be, and then it just like comes out and it's like, oh.
What I want to know is why did they design their 3DS cartridges with that little knob on the corner there?
I have no idea.
Why? It's just a waste of space. Like they're gonna make that
thing.
I wonder if it's like some sort of compatibility thing, so like people weren't trying to put them in their
Maybe.
normal 3DSs.
Maybe.
Strange.
I guess I think that would be something. You know, they always try to for portable gaming. I think they always try to make a difference in like the cartridges for every.
Sorry, I'm just pulling the 3DS part.
It's alright. For every
How's this work?
it's annoying to get the SD card out. You have to kind of like pull it rather than flick it out.
Okay.
You know.
I just gotta make sure I know what to do when. Ooh, freaky.
And then
Yeah, I think I know it comes with an SD card. My
4 gig.
Nice. Yeah, I know it comes with an SD. Is 4 gigs fine? Because I think mine comes with a 4 gig one.
For me, it's fine, but like I don't do a lot of online buying or anything.
Yeah.
and
Okay. Yeah, there's literally just gonna be like. I'm just gonna play
it's
like,
mostly
Super Smash
just,
Bros,
like-
Pokemon, and Zelda. That's gonna be it, pretty
Yeah.
much. And maybe Fire Emblem.
I was about to say for me, it's mostly save files, and oh, actually no, the save files are actually just on these.
Yeah, they just save them on the cartridge.
So
I love that like Nintendo have like stuck with this cartridge thing.
yeah,
Like it's just been their thing. Like they've
it's
always had
so
these
cool.
cartridges.
And I mean, like, how awesome is that kind of
Made in
terms of?
Japan.
By the way, I'm a visual communication and design student at school. It's like I'm always looking at the design of things in case you guys are sitting there going like, why does he keep on talking about the design of all these crap? It's like because I'm interested in it. But like, you know, this design of these cartridges, they're very unique. You know, it's kind of like one of those things becomes like a bit iconic where, you know, if you see it, so many people will be like, oh, that's Nintendo.
Yeah.
They just even from the shape, if you just saw a silhouette of this
Yeah.
or the 3DS,
And I mean, it's
cartoon,
just like a simple,
that's
nice.
Nintendo.
It's just a simple square, really. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
So simple, so unique.
Yeah, they're really cool little things. Nintendo, they're an interesting company. It's a shame the Wii U sucks.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like, I think the Wii U is just something. It was almost a missed opportunity, in terms of
Yeah.
like what
I'm
they.
not
could've-
gonna lie, when
what
I
they
first
can
saw
do
that.
with it. But now it's picking up a bit more, because they're making the right deals. Like with Platinum Games with Bayonetta 2,
Yeah.
that game looks amazing, and I know there's a lot of like, you know, sexual innuendos, a lot of sexual innuendos in that game.
Really?
But I find it hilarious, like absolutely hilarious. They're very explicit. So, be warned if you want to play Bayonetta or Bayonetta 2. Firstly, if you want to get the first Bayonetta game, don't even get it on the original game. Just wait for the Wii U version, because you can get Bayonetta 2 with the original game pre-installed. Yeah. Did I
I'm
accidentally?
super excited for the-
Did I accidentally just like sell something? Buy
you're
this
just,
stuff.
You're just yeah.
I don't mean to.
No, I unnecessarily give the Wii U crap. It's just because like it's just not selling well.
It's
but
just not selling well at all. But
It's
now
got good
I think
games
it's picking
coming.
up. It's definitely, I don't know in
Yeah.
Australia, but definitely in other countries.
as
it's
soon as
starting
Super
to pick
Smash
up.
Bros. Come out for the Wii U, those things are gonna sell like
Yeah.
amazeballs.
Yeah.
Just it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's
And they just need to like keep up these really good games. And I think that's one thing that like I think Nintendo, when they first released Wii U, they kind of didn't they didn't get the picture where it's like everyone knows that with Nintendo it's about the games.
Yeah.
That's what draws
Yeah,
everybody to
yeah,
it.
exactly.
It's about their games and how unique their games are.
Yeah.
And how much
I mean,
people love their games.
the Wii U is no more powerful than PS3 is.
Exactly.
So it's outdated technology, of course.
yeah.
But like the games are what
Exactly.
makes
Exactly. The games are what make the console.
Yeah.
I don't care like what people say like all the graphics
Yeah.
and shit. It's like no.
Have they released a Zelda like a new sort of Zelda game for Wii U yet?
No,
Because there was
they
like
had a
Wind Waker
trailer.
HD.
They had a trailer for it.
They did like
Oh no, Wind Waker HD. Yeah, they did make for.
yeah, but that's like a
the-
remaster.
Yeah.
Like it's not a new.
Yeah, not a new one. They did at E3.
That's gotta be coming,
They had
surely.
a trailer.
Yeah, I remember E3 when they showed off the Wii U.
Mm.
They had like they
And
were
Link
showing off the
looks kinda
inventory
girly.
system and
Yeah.
linking it with Link. Haha. But yeah, like, that'd be awesome. That's a huge.
It looks really like gorgeous.
Yeah.
It looks like such a really pretty game.
Yeah.
It's really pretty. I was proud of it, but not
I
like
can
it's
say that.
yeah. But you know,
Very
it's like
handsome looking game.
and then we have like Ewan with his wonderful play on words.
Haha.
No, he was a small man and very
Little man.
A little man.
Small man.
No.
I'm not a small man. I'm a little man.
Okay. No.
I'm actually kind of tall.
but
I'm
anyway.
taller than you. Shut up.
Yeah, you are. You're like heaps taller than me. I keep on growing, and I'm like, yes, I'm slightly getting taller. And then I go back to school, and then it's like, oh look, Ewan grew as well. Why must you grow, Ewan? That is so rude. That is so inconsiderate.
I'm sorry, man.
No, but anyway, no, the Wii U Zelda trailer was
Yeah.
very cool. It looked really nice.
I don't think I've missed a Zelda game for you. Hopefully not. My mum would be pissed. She loves those games.
Well, there hasn't been, like, you would
Yeah.
know if there was a Zelda game. On the
Yeah,
Wii.
like Twilight Princess on the Wii. Oh man.
Oh, that was so good.
Good game. It's so
Such a
funny.
good game.
My mum, like, whenever she plays it, it's like usually like she hasn't played for 6 months. She's like, "Oh, I'll go back and play that game."
Yeah.
Like, oh, where the hell was I? So she started keeping this journal of like where she was in the game. So like sitting in the drawer underneath the Wii is just like a little diary entry of where she is.
That, like, there were periods where I kind of stopped playing Twilight Princess.
Yeah,
and then went
it's
back
such
to
a
it
long
because
game.
It is a long game, and also when I was playing
Yeah.
the Twilight Princess, like, I wasn't that very good at gaming. Like, you know, Julia will still say that I'm not very good at gaming at all.
Oh, I'm rubbish at games.
And yeah, so like I would try and play the game and absolutely fail at it, and then I would just like walk away from it for ages. Then I'd go back to it, and you know, most of the time I'd go back to it. I'm in the middle of a dungeon, and I'm just sitting there going like, what am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing right now? I have no idea.
There's bad guys everywhere.
Yeah. I would like just spend like half an hour, hours, just like walking around in these rooms that I was already in.
Yeah.
Trying to like figure out what I'm doing and where to go next.
Yeah. Now that I'm like a little bit older, maybe I'd know to check an inventory menu and like see.
Well,
what my
now
quest is
that
for
I've
that.
like,
But
not only that I'm a little bit older, but the games that I've played are like serious kind of RPGs, and a lot of games that are like really, like, a lot of attention to detail is needed. So now I've had a little bit of Dark Souls training.
right.
So, because I played Dark Souls 2, and I kind of got like maybe a little bit more than halfway. I got to the Iron Keep, which is like this massive castle.
The Iron Keep.
That completely...
No.
It's basically this massive, like, iron castle that is, slowly falling into lava. Completely defies any law of physics. And especially how you get to it.
Is it like slowly sinking? Like
No,
Venice?
it's kind of just like, it's half sunk in lava.
Okay.
But you kind of like walk right next to lava.
Ah,
It defies all laws of physics.
Well,
especially since how you get there, because the way you
Sounds
get
cool.
to
I
the
want a
iron...
castle like that.
Yeah, well, the way you get to the Iron Keep is basically this windmill that's like on a hill, and then you don't see anything in the distance anywhere. There's nothing behind it. There's nothing like anywhere in the horizon, and then you climb up a ladder, and you get to a castle that's half submerged in lava.
Games, man.
That's like one of the criticisms of
Weird.
Dark Souls 2. Whereas in Dark Souls, the first one, it was very logical. The way that you could get to
I haven't
areas.
played
Like,
any of those games. I'm sorry.
I haven't played extensively either, and like I get really annoyed at a lot of people that like sit there and like, oh, this game isn't Dark Souls, it's shit. I'm like, shut up. Dark Souls fits a certain demographic.
Yeah.
It's a certain genre.
Yeah.
Enjoy other genres and don't just get pissed that because nothing else is Dark Souls. That's the point. Not everything is trying to be Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But like the way the first game had was like you could see if you saw an area in the horizon, most likely you could go to that area.
That's so
And
cool.
somehow-
I love
yeah.
games like that.
And there's a lot of play on like the levels and everything, and how because it's Dark Souls and this kind of like this motif of like darkness and everything.
Yeah.
And so you would slowly descend into lower areas of the world, and so it would like be where you're like at some point like underground and in caves and stuff, and it's true how there's like that kind of feel, like you actually feel like you are underground.
Yeah.
And you feel like the world is like caving in on you and everything, and it's like some deep shit in that game. That's some
deep. I think you did that.
Shit. But yeah, whereas in Dark Souls 2, there's a lot of like with the Iron Keep, where people are just like, how did I end up here if it was nowhere to be seen?
Sure.
And then you climb up a ladder. If you climb down a ladder,
Yeah.
that would be logical, but you climb up a ladder
To get underground.
to get to the Iron Keep. That is basically the whole basis of it, is that it's an iron castle that is so heavy that it started sinking into the ground, and that's why there's lava there.
And you climb up a ladder.
And you climb up a ladder to get there.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of weird.
So it's kind of a bit like what
are you doing?
What are you doing? You know, especially after the first game, it's like so well thought out how these areas are interconnected and everything.
Yeah.
And then it's just like Dark Souls 2, they do something so sloppy like that, and it's like
weird,
even like for someone who's not really into that game,
yeah,
I still sat there, and when I noticed that, I was like,
yeah, it's just so frustrating when people making weird decisions like that. Hey.
But yeah, well, what I was after that massive tangent, I was going tangents. What I was trying to say was that after like being Dark Souls trained, I'm really more perceptive about so many different things in games. Like I find it so hard to watch walkthroughs now because there are so many people out there who do these walkthroughs and it's so blatantly obvious where they have to go or what they have to do. It's like screaming right in front of their face and it's like, I don't know what to do. Like, and they just like walk around aimlessly looking like dumb as like it's looking so stupid. And I just think they're going like, I'm like screaming at my laptop screen just like it's right there.
Yeah,
it's like it's terrible.
I can't say I've watched anyone that's been that stupid.
Well, maybe I just get angry really easily.
Yeah, I'm a pretty like dumb player. I'm like, I wonder where I go. I remember it's like
there were a couple times. Actually, there were a couple times when I was watching your Twitch live streams.
What are you doing?
Ewan, what are you doing? But you didn't persist with the stupidity. Like you got to it pretty quickly. But there are people out there, and it's like really common. What?
I just said a dumb thing or two. I said a dumb thing or two. Yeah, that sounds like me.
And then in some walkthroughs, they like persist with it, and they sit there and like no, it must be back. Like I must backtrack. Like no.
Yeah, I'm pretty like when I'm playing a game, I'm pretty quick to judge. Like, okay, I've done this wrong. Like, this isn't how it should be.
Yeah, at least
I guess like I've played so many games, I know what to expect a lot of the time.
And like sometimes like you don't get what you have to do, but you understand that you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
But then there's just so many people out there who are just like, well, I don't know what to do.
There's been Destiny the day where it's like it's right at the start of the mission, like the ghost right at the start of the game. Sorry, the ghost revives you. And it's like we've got to run. There's fallen coming. Stupid bit in English. And I'm running off, and there's literally a door that I just don't see, and I just turn right, and I'm like I cross this bridge, and I'm like, yep, I don't know where to go. Where are we going, bit in English? And then I finally eventually pressed the thing and like it showed me the waypoint. And I'm like, this is a door? I'm like, oh, I guess it kind of is. It's kind of shaped like a door. It's like a rectangular opening. It's kind of a door, I guess.
I don't mean to brag, but I got that the first time, so...
Yeah. I watched my brother, I'm like, here, let's see what he does. Oh, how the hell did he see that door? He just straight through it. Yeah. But it's good fun.
And actually,
it's fun making mistakes in games.
Yeah, it can be fun.
When I play Halo, I swear the funniest thing that ever happens to me is when I die. It's just like when I'm playing multiplayer, it's no matter, that game is just so much fun, and you generally just die in the most, it's like the ragdoll effects, and I just laugh.
Now, Cole, you
what a noob. Who was that guy that just was like flailing across the room? Oh wait, that's me.
I love that so much. Like, especially, like, when you're playing multiplayer in Halo.
Yeah.
And you die, and then it's just like this...
Yeah, it's great. I love when, like, someone hits you with the gravity hammer.
Oh my god. There was one time I was, like, at Jules' house, and she had, like, another friend over, and we were both having gravity hammers, and this guy was in, a Warthog.
Yeah.
And we were just playing, like, Forge mode or something, and we're just, like, running up to him, and we're just like, your vehicle needs everything. And we're just, like, smashing the gravity hammer, and he's just in the Warthog, he's just, like, flying across the map, and we're just like, your vehicle needs everything.
Such a fun game. It's so good.
So good. But I was just saying, like, because I'm a PlayStation guy.
Yeah.
So I've never...
Woohoo! PlayStation! Yeah.
But I've never had, like, Halo. So I'm the COD...
I bought an Xbox purely for Halo.
Yeah.
Like, look at my
When
my
you told me
Xbox
that,
collection.
when I found that out, I was just like...
Check this out.
F Ewan.
It's just that...
It's literally just
Halo Anniversary, Halo 3, Halo Reach, Halo 4, and then I got Forza Motorsports car because they came free with the console.
Nice.
I've not played them. I'm just like, I don't even know if the disc works.
Nice.
I played, that's what I did a couple of summer holidays ago. I bought my Xbox and I just played all through every Halo game.
Yeah. I remember
except
that.
Halo 2.
I remember
which
that.
now makes me want to buy the Xbox One so I can get the Master Chief Collection and play Halo 2 and go through them all again. And then get the beta for Halo 5 and then play Halo 5 the following year. Plan set.
Okay.
And with that, we bring an end to the episode 6 of the Pause podcast. Thanks, Anthony, for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I did enjoy it a lot.
We have a bit of fun.
We do.
It means, like, the podcast is great because it just gives us an opportunity to just talk about the geeky stuff we like.
And the thing is, because they're so long, it allows me to go on my massive tangents.
Yeah.
Because I do, like, tangents of tangents.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Thank you.
And shout out to the few of you guys that stick around to watch the end of these things. I've spoken to a few people now and they're like, oh, I really liked what you said about such and such a thing. I'm like, I can't remember having that conversation with you. Oh, the podcast. Oh, right. Yeah. It's good. We got like a comment from some guy in Germany the other day that said he enjoyed listening to it as he grinded on Destiny.
I was like, when I saw the comment there, I was just sitting there going like, I think I just clicked his name and then I like watched one of his videos and then I was just like, this is German. And I was like, trust.
They can speak English too.
Yeah, no, but I'm like, I know they can speak English. I've been to Germany, so like.
I'm sure.
They can speak really good. Oh, shut up. They have like two for their news channels. They have the German and they also have English.
Yeah,
for their news, which is pretty awesome. But they have like
English
American
is a good language.
accents.
Actually, English is a shit language, but let's speak it.
Grammatically, it's a shit language.
It's terrible.
Terrible, but but when I saw it, I was like, trust. Ewan has a comment from some guy in Germany.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's rad. Thanks,
man.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
Super cool, dude. But please, like the videos. I don't really actually care about likes so much.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. Comment. I like talking with people, and I've responded to all my comments that I've received so far. Well, there's been 3. But
I'm in that.
Please comment and share the fun, and we'll have like new people on the podcast every now and then, where people are studying for exams, and it's gonna be good. I'm enjoying it. We're 6 episodes in. It's going strong.
Yeah,
we're having fun playing all these games and putting them on.
You should definitely do some co-op gaming videos.
Oh, like with
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to do more of that and getting more gameplay up. You'll notice that I've pushed up a couple of Destiny gameplays, but I'm gonna try and do more of that because I've got my PC all set up to record. And my friends
even a PC that's like a.
That's my PC.
Yeah, and
that's my PC.
No, I just.
Veda.
I'm not used to.
I call my PC
such
Veda.
A massive piece of hardware.
That's only a mid tower. Imagine if I got a full tower.
That's a mid tower.
That's a mid tower, yeah. So that's like you get there you can get smaller ones. Yeah. Which are kind of compact.
Yeah.
That's a mid tower, so it's like you get towers and then there's a full tower one as well, which is maybe about 25% larger than that.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I'm a PC gamer, guys.
PC gaming's rad. I love all kinds of gaming.
Yeah. I want to broaden my scope as well, but it's just.
Yeah.
That stuff, you know?
Yeah, money.
Kind of gets in the way.
Money. Alright, thanks again for joining us, guys. That's Ewan and Anthony signing. Oh, wait, hold on. Do you have like a Twitter handle or anything?
Yes, I do. I do have a Twitter handle that I rarely. Well, I'm trying to get.
Why does everyone come on this and like, I never tweet, so it's actually. Not much point.
Well, it's like, I think it's at Pain_O.
Oh, yeah, okay. So that's PAIN_O.
So not 0, but like O, the letter.
The letter O.
Yeah.
Easy. So I'll include it.
Yeah. And should I send my YouTube channel? Or?
Yes. Sorry, we probably should have mentioned that at the start. Yeah. I'll link that as well. Go on.
Yeah. Well, it's just my name, Anthony Paino.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I was like, might as well just keep it. Yeah. Keep it, normal. Don't make any fancy names.
Sweet. Easy. Cool.
Cool.
And I'm, of course, your host, Ewan Roxburgh, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, where I'm probably most active, and that's just Ewan_Roxburgh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Link my Instagram. I'm not going to say it, but link my Instagram.
Okay, I'll do that as well. Alright, thanks, guys. We'll catch you next time. Hang loose.